Yeah, no, this video is a little late, and I just really didn't want to do it, so I mostly just kept avoiding on doing it. And I'm not gonna really do much to this video except just say a few things. But anyways, this is video is mainly going to be on my final thoughts on the Microsoft's Kinect and a couple of people who've told me a couple of things, and also one particular person who made 4 videos on me on that Kinect video. And I'm only going to say one thing. First of all, either you're a troll or you're just the most stupidest person in the planet. This is to the person who made those 4 videos. Seriously, what the fuck was it? Was just mostly just idiocy throughout the whole video. But you said that the PlayStation Eye or the iToy was nothing more than a background changer. It's a form of motion censoring, by the way, where it tells you to put your body into a certain area, and then it will outline your body by the position of where you're sitting. That's a form of motion censoring. And the PlayStation did ask you to stand in a certain way, and then would throw all these objects at you. That's motion censoring, stupid. But seriously. And not only that, it also had skeletal tracking in there, or at least the programs had skeletal tracking, which is written within inside the games themselves. The actual hardware was just a camera with a microphone. It's mostly just software that the PlayStation Eye and the PlayStation Toy was able to do what it can. And that's pretty much where I say that it's a rip-off on the Microsoft's Kinect. And even though, like, well, yeah, but it's got true voice recognition. There's no such thing as true voice recognition. My Mac OS 10 has true voice recognition. Well, actually, it doesn't have true voice. It just has voice recognition. So does Windows 7. And not only that, the Dreamcast had it, PlayStation had it. It's pretty much any console, right? Every console right now has pretty much do voice recognition, except maybe the Nintendo Wii. But that's a limitation because it doesn't really have a mic to it. Go figure. But anyways, I still consider the Kinect to be a complete rip-off off the PlayStation Eye, even though the PlayStation got their camera from Dreamcast. And some of you are saying, well, some of the developers who helped on Microsoft's Dreamcast are on Xbox. That is somewhat true, but it's mainly in software, not in hardware. Um, the all you have to do is just look at the Dreamcast box and it says Windows CE stamped right there in front of it. But mainly it was Microsoft who helped with the software. And the thing about Sega is that if anybody was there with had to help with the hardware, it's mostly just Japanese people because that's what Sega was, a Japanese company. I mean, right there. But Microsoft openly admitted that it was mainly doing the software before it went on to developing the hardware for the Xbox and the Xbox 360 and clusterfuck the red rings of death that apparently plagued the entire console for so many years. Of course, they finally got rid of it by getting rid of the LEDs. When the alarms are sounding, what's the best way to deal with the problem? Rip the alarms out. That's according to Microsoft's theory. Fucking stupid theory, if you ask me. But yeah, I still think that PlayStation 3 is a pretty worthless console, maybe mainly because it's just overpriced and it is still the most expensive out of all of them. I looked it up on Amazon. The cheapest is the Nintendo Wii. Even with their add-ons, it's still cheaper to get just a Nintendo Wii than to get the Xbox 360 and the Kinect device. So, price-wise, Nintendo Wii still wins. Yeah, Nintendo should lower their prices down, but considerably. Yeah, it would be a pretty good. I mean, it would be a pretty good idea since, but still, Nintendo's still the cheapest, and Nintendo seems to know it. But other than that, there's not really much else to be said, other than the simple fact that I still think the Kinect is a complete rip-off. And the only real hardware innovation they put on the Kinect is probably they put two cameras on there for 3D imaging. It's the same that they did with the 3DS for the Nintendo's 3DS, where they put two cameras next to each other so to make a 3D image. And that's pretty much how it works because the human eye pretty much works the same thing since we all have something called binocular vision, which allows us to see in 3D real time in real world. Yeah, but pretty much cameras are set up the same way. Even though I kind of find that heat censoring device kind of stupid. Someone once told me that it could actually sense where your face is. No. Anybody who's taken the time to look through a thermal camera, which is the same thermal camera that which is the third camera on the Kinect, would tell you that the thermal camera will only see a blurry spot. Not like on Predator or any of those Predator movies, but it will just be a fucking blotch because I think it's mainly just gray. The Predator movies, they have those extra colors were just added on for, well, effect, just for effects and stuff. Just like sound was added into the outer space on Star Wars. But I digress. Anyways, the when Microsoft got up there and said that nothing like this has ever been produced on a home box system, well, that's an absolute fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. That is beyond idiotic for Microsoft to get up there and say that. Voice recognition's been around for a while. Motion sensoring's been around. Skeletal tracking. Hell, PlayStation got to play with skeletal tracking before Microsoft got to. And, well, actually, maybe Microsoft got to play with it before on their Windows platform, but on the Xbox platform, no. Sorry. Sony beat you guys to that one. But other than that, I just really don't see it. And of course, somebody also told me that Bungie produced games with publishing under Apple computers. Well, I checked Apple's history. They never published a game not once in their entire fucking lives. And then I checked Bungie, and I was pretty much correct. Bungie was a self-publishing slash independent company. They did own something called Bungie West, which was a separate independent company that broke off from Bungie after Bungie sold out to Microsoft. But pretty much I was correct when I said that Bungie used to have their own publications, and then Microsoft bought them out, and now they're going to other people to publish their shit, which is kind of sad. But yeah, all you have to do is look up Oni, and you would see that that was actually produced by Bungie West, but and produced and published under some other name. But that was the only game that I could find under Bungie that was produced under a separate license, published under a separate license. Every other Bungie game that I looked that was done and created by Bungie was also produced by Bungie. I mean, or published by Bungie. So every time I looked it up, and I kept looking it up, unless to this particular person, Sam, you can prove to me that Apple actually published a game, which I know you can't. I have to call you bullshit on that. I'm sorry. That's it.